want to say that the food and everybody that put together all of the details has been amazing, and I'm just really grateful for that. Before I start talking a little more, I just want to play a short clip that will make me
As your queen, I want you to know that I see you, I feel you, I'm on your frequency. And although you don't frequently feel value, you are. You've been beaten, tortured, enslaved, and stripped of your manhood. You've been to hell and back, and yet you're still standing. Persecuted, executed, and broke down in every way. But somehow you continue to find a way to be strong, to be a provider, to be a lover. Hell, everyone wants to be you, because you're a king, and heavy crowns are painful. But God gives his hardest battles to his toughest warriors. Black man, I'm not your enemy, I'm your energy. When you tend to me and you enter me, remember we are one. Until freedom, I will fight by your side. I know you hide your pain with your pride. You don't want pity, but you damn sure deserve a little mercy.
So I first want to dedicate that moment. So if you're not aware, if you don't know who she is, that's Tamika Mallory. She is an activist, a very vocal activist for the Black Lives Matter movement. And when I was looking for words to express how I feel as far as how thankful I am for this event, some of the first people that came to my mind are my family. My sons, my husbands, my husband, I only have one. My daughters, but most specifically, the men who are really putting everything that they can to keep our families together, the Black family together. So I just wanted to give acknowledgement to that first. And to my husband and to my family, thank you so much for all of the patience you have given over the last 4 months that it has taken to plan this event. All the late night meetings, all the interrupted dinners and meals and missed events is all because of this event, and I hope that everyone sees that this is the fruit of all of that labor. So next, I'm going to end with a little inspiration. I'm big into music, so I use music to kind of speak for what I'm trying to say when I can't find the words, but I think you'll enjoy this next song and get motivated to do something that maybe you haven't done before.
These are tough times we live in, but still we can't just give in. We must stand tall and live strong. It's up to the youth to live on.
And carry this torch we pass down. You see, I know it's not the last round. In the next generation, my faith is unwavering.
My confidence in you is unshakable, because I know that you're willing and far beyond capable of doing all that must be done. But to do it all, we must be as one.
Life can be better than most of us dream. So once you take the reins, believe in your greatness which lies within.
And for the better, this world will change.
I see that you want it. I see that you're working for it. Don't take no days off. Let's go be married. I see that you love it. I want you to know that before you can see it, you gotta believe it. You're the generation of tomorrow. The pursuit starts today, and autumn is borrowed. So you have learned the way. You and I, R&B, you and I, put on the special news. And you are high, yeah, I repeat it, but you are high, so do what you do. And we gon' do it big, we gon' make a scene, we gon' take
words to be the change that we want to see. So that means that when there's an opportunity to do something that might be a little uncomfortable, to stand next to someone that might feel a little alone, to be a voice for someone who doesn't have a voice, we need to start to be the change that we want to see. And that song really spoke to me, and I wanted to share that with everyone. Next, I'm gonna introduce a very dear friend of mine who is going to bless us with words, with the song. Lola, good. We'll give you
How's everybody doing? Good. I'm going to sing a very familiar song. It's Lift Every Voice and Sing.
From the places, our God, where we met thee, and let our heart drunk with the wine of the world we forget thee. Shadowed beneath thy great big old head,
She was here last year. If you had the opportunity to come last year, you heard her, but she is amazing. And I'm so thankful for her being here. And my little helper, Soraya. Before we go any further, I just want to bring your attention to a couple of things. So this event has a lot of different stuff happening. I want to make sure everybody knows about all the things happening. We have food over here for purchase for a very small fee. We also have a raffle table right by California Closet. We have an education zone that is across the street behind you that has a lot of information about Juneteenth celebrations from the beginning of Juneteenth to present. Each of the towns involved have taken on the role of displaying Black excellence in the towns that are represented. So the town of Walpole has a Black excellence list. The town of Norwood has a Black excellence list. And what that is to celebrate the Black residents in our town that are doing amazing things, or just the residents that are here just to see what our town looks like and what it's made of. So just to take a moment, if you have time, to check that out.
Thanks for coming. Thanks for the volunteers.
So I just want to thank all the volunteers, everybody who either has on a Walpole shirt or a volunteer tag has been an amazing help, and without them this could not have been put on. So I just want to take a moment to thank everybody. Also, we have porta potties, so if anyone needs to use the restroom, they're right there to the left. Next, I'm going to be introducing the next performer, who is from the town of Norwood. Her name is Sauda, and she will be giving us the spoken word. For having me on this great day. Today is the official recognition of Juneteenth, a holiday to commemorate the freeing of Alaska slaves. Today we celebrate our freedom in different ways. Freedom to me is the freedom to express yourself however you like, regardless of adversity. One adversity I've had to overcome, especially in a small town, is the perception of others. You find yourself listening to peers, parents, teachers, but it isn't until you listen to yourself that you truly begin to feel liberated. So ask yourself, whose disapproval do you fear and why? Whose opinion do you listen to even though you hate doing it? Who has the power to influence your behavior? Whose criticism do you fear? And who do you not want to be put down by? I realized the answer to all of these questions are people with power over me, people who could affect my freedom. So I began to quickly create my own power. Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our minds. That is a famous line by Bob Marley, and it inspired me to express myself. My most cherished outlet of expression is my business. I launched my business over a year ago, a fashion magazine and retail. My magazine plays a big role in my self-exploration as I write and create my own presence in the world. It has taught me to face critics and face adversity and be proud of doing what makes me happy. Today I'm here to read a poem about facing adversity and prevailing. The poem is by Maya Angelou. I'm I'm pretty sure you've all heard it. Still I rise. Still I Rise by Maya Angelou. You may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may trod me in the very dirt, but still, like dust, I'll rise. Does my sassiness upset you? Were you beset with gloom? 'Cause I walk like I've got oil wells in my living room. Just like moons and like suns, with the certainty of tides, just like hope springing high, still I rise. Did you want to see me broken? Bowed head and lowered eyes? Shoulders falling down like teardrops, weakened by my soulful cries. Does my haughtiness offend you? Don't you take it awful hard? 'Cause I act like I've got gold mines digging in my own backyard. You may shoot me with your words. You may cut me with your eyes. You may kill me with your hatefulness, but still, like air, I'll rise. Does my sexiness upset you? Does it come as a surprise that I dance like I've got diamonds at the meeting of my thighs? Out of the husk of history's shame, I rise. Up from the past, rooted in pain, I rise. I'm a black ocean, leaping and wide, welling and swelling, I bear in the tide. Leaving behind nights of terror, in fear I rise. Into the daybreak that's wondrously clear, I rise. Bringing the gifts that my ancestors gained, I am the dream and the hope of the slave. I rise, I rise, I rise. Thank you guys for having me.
Hello. Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for being here today. My name is Patricia Sanchez Connolly, and I, along with Tracy Franklin, Jamie Drewinski, and Kylan Campbell, I'm one of the founders of the Anti-Racism Coalition in Dedham. And we have been supporting this event thanks to the opportunity that Shantae Holmes gave us to be part of this. So we're very excited, and I thank you all for being here. Our next performer is Solomon, but before I bring them up here, I would like to thank some of the other groups from different communities that have been supporting and helping with this effort. The first one is Action Together in Walpole, so give it up for them. Mansfield Democrats, Mansfield Votes, Dedham Anti-Racism Coalition, make some noise. Progress Norwood, and Walpole Peace and Justice. Solomon, where are you? All right, give it up for Solomon.
How's everybody doing? My name is Solomon. I'm also an Norwood alumni, and I graduated a few years back. And today I have a poem for you that I wrote. It's called That's All It Takes. And here it goes. All it takes. All it takes for my mom to live her life trying to heal the pain. All it takes. All it takes for my pop to think he could have done better. All it takes. All it takes for my sister's heart to have a hole in it, wondering how one could be so ruthless. That is all it takes. Even though I live my life in fear of the gun sound, I know I'll be all right. I know we will all be all right. Because I'm a warrior. Trust me. No matter what knocks me down, just know I'll get back up. No matter what lies ahead, believe me, I'm prepared. So why wait to be great? Why give someone else your own fate? You're stronger than you were yesterday, so there's nothing you can't face. Thank you. That's my only time.
All right, everybody. I'm so excited to see all of the young people out here today. Are you? Because the young people are going to be the ones that keep all of this energy going and making sure that this happens continuously and that those values that we are instilling in them stick. So I'm very excited about that. Next, we're going to bring a young man to the stage who is going to give us an amazing performance. Miles Franklin. Round of applause for Miles. Wow, that's amazing. I was so excited to see that opportunity. Thank you guys. Thank you for doing that for us. I just want to take an opportunity to thank some of the sponsors, because as we know, this would not be possible without the sponsors. We've been raising funds for quite some time, and to name a few, Eastern Therapeutics in Walpole, Melt in Your Mouth from Walpole, there's a bakery, TCS Sportswear, shout out to them for the t-shirt, Tessie's Bar and Grill, Tessie's Bar and Kitchen, Conrad's, Jalapenos, and all of the sponsors that are on our sponsor board. This could not be done without you, so I just want to say thank you to everybody. Next, we're going to have a selection by Joseph Borsellino Jr. He can make his way to the stage.
quick thank you to Shante and Tracy for having me out here. I'm gonna be short and brief and do a quick selection of my favorite Donny Hathaway tune titled "Someday We'll All Be Free." Message goes without saying, so enjoy. And this young man's gonna hold them up.
Don't you guys love the variety of entertainment we have out today? It's really fun. Keep everybody involved. Something for everybody. I want to invite my friend Nola back up to sing her second and final selection. So Nola, come on up.
This song I want to dedicate to my brother, Michael Hood. He passed away suddenly Sunday. 39 years old. Was in Georgia, crossing the street and got hit by a car, killed. So he always loved my singing and he thought I should be heard all over the world. So I'm singing this one for you, Michael. When you're weary, feeling small, when tears are in your eyes, I'll dry them all. 'Cause I'm on your side. When times are rough and when friends just can't be found, like a bridge over troubled water, I will lay me down.
very honored and humbled to have you here today, and we thank you for being here and sharing your gift with all of us, and for honoring your brother in such a beautiful way. Again, we're honored to have you here. So, a couple things. I'd like to thank the town of Walpole for the space that's being provided this afternoon so we could hold this event, and also for the tables, which folks are using over there, because they provided those as well. So just some applause for the town of Walpole. We're going to go ahead and take a short break before the second set of performances. So stay put.
Hello, hello again. We're back. So, we have a huge announcement to make. And I want to make sure we have everyone's attention so that you can hear us, so that you can hear the great news. So to my left is Kristen Kohlmeyer, who is my partner for the Multicultural Books Initiative. If you have heard of that, let me hear a round of applause. Multicultural Books Initiative. All right.
So we wanted to share that Shantae and I are starting the process of starting a nonprofit organization. It will be called Be Inclusive. We're still working on getting our Facebook page and all of that up and running. So for now, you can find information about that on the Multicultural Books Initiative page. And our organization's mission is to create inclusive communities by lifting the voices of Black, Indigenous, people of color, recognizing diverse cultures and intersectional experiences, and supporting healthy racial identity development and ongoing anti-racist learning through education, community events, programming, and resources. So, we hope to continue to have community events like this and continue to find more ways to partner with the local community and other towns around us. So we look forward to getting to know all of you better and working together.
So now we have the Multicultural Books Initiative moving into Be Inclusive. We have Juneteenth being a federal holiday. Can we get a round of applause for that? Federal holiday. So let's not just take the day off and go sit down. Let's learn something and try to, teach ourselves and try to be better. It's really important that we do that during that time. So without further ado, we're going to move on to the next performance. All right? Just a moment. Thank you, guys.
Hello, hello. Hello, I'm back. Woo! All right, so we're very happy to have this next group perform. So please show them some love. Or is the name? Testing. Hello, everyone. There are of you out here. I need to hear a lot more. Hello. All right. My name is Musal Tabinga, and I am the Executive Director of the Origination Cultural Arts Center. We are a nonprofit performing arts center based in Boston, where we do a whole host of programs. I have my own background too. The bells are just ringing for me. We have a host of programs from summer dance intensives to our professional dance division. And what you're going to today, right now, is three of our performance dance companies perform calypso, hip hop, and spoken word. We are going to be in 3 sets. So the first set is a poem in calypso. The second is a children's dance class. The second set is the children's dance from the book. in front here and move. And if the parents want to move too, you're more than welcome. And then we're going to wrap it up with hip hop. How does that sound? Good? We have a poem recited by Golayla. Where is she? All right.
My name is Golayla, and I will be doing African Girl, so enjoy. What's so great about being a young, talented, and intelligent African girl? Well, I hope you have some time than you're done. I come from a line of kings who believed in emotion by any means. Kuji Chakalia was never a question. As always, self-determination was and is our destination. To define, to think, and to name myself was a blessing I received from God himself. I learned collectively and responsibly for myself and my people. Take heed in what I'm saying, because I am your equal.
Great job. So before we get on to the calypso dance, I don't know where Shantae is, but I want to thank Shantae Holmes for helping us get out here and organizing and getting it all together. We really appreciate it. We love being out here. So without further ado, if we could get track number 1, and we can play it. Thank you. On the program. So who should I flip the mic over to? That would be Shantae. So when we come back, I'm going to ask for the volunteers, so be ready, be stretched out, and all that good stuff.
Thank you guys so much. Another round of applause for that amazing dance. That was cool. All right, next up, I have some more poetry, spoken word, from a young man by the name of James. He wants to come on up.
Hi, my name is James Chuku. Graduated from Norwood High School last year. Thank you, I appreciate it. I spent a lot of time since then working with my community, trying to make a difference. I've invested a lot of opportunity from teaching at my middle school in Norwood and hosting events all through last summer with Progress Norwood. And now I'm here gracing the stage at Juneteenth Walpole. Thank you for the opportunity, Shante. Today I'll be doing spoken word with 2 original poems. The first one is called All Eyes on Me, and I wrote it the summer of 2019 as I was entering my senior year of high school. My main focus with this was to show what growing up was like for me, and how no matter the obstacle in my way as a black child, I will succeed. All eyes on me. The journey we... Deep breath. This journey we call life is always a struggle. I keep walking through it and know it's a hustle. I go at a pace, I know it's not a race, because if it was, I'd come in last place. Some kids took their start, they began to run. White privilege stuck its foot out, so I fell and I spun. I looked up at the runners, I thought I was done, but courage came over and told me it's not. Hope picked me up, and the white privilege turned around and spit all over the ground. I slipped and I fell, I hit the floor and I yelled. But bravery saved the day and told me it's time to play. Then pride came through and told me that I'm with you. The crowd in my face yelling, hoping I'll lose the race. With all eyes on me, I ran across the finish line and yelled, "Yippee!" That's how I learned that life wasn't a race, cause there ain't no way in hell I'ma come in last place. So this next poem, I actually wrote this morning, I'm not gonna lie to you. It's mic cutting out on me, hold on. Let's see. Can y'all hear me? All right, there we go. All right, so I wrote this morning, like I just said. I call it "The Revolution Will Not Be Televised." And this poem ties in with what my friend started earlier today, what she was alluding to. How on a day like today, we must remember that in order to become truly free, we must do work outside of the public eye. And most importantly, be free enough mentally to see these things through. The revolution will not be televised. On June 19, 1965, my people walked free and got liberation they strive. Fast forward to today, and I hope we don't stray from the visions of our ancestors. May in peace they lay. We must do our part to ensure a better tomorrow and secure a life that holds no need for sorrow. We must rid ourselves of these baggages that's weighing us down, stop having it. So emancipate your mind, move free like a vine. Walk down the street and keep your head up high. We don't need approval from the other men. And let the work you do need no fans. The true change starts from behind the scenes. That's why you won't see the revolution on TV. So our journey isn't over. There's much work to be done. But today we can celebrate for how far we've overcome. Happy Juneteenth. Thank you. Enjoy it.
It's class time. I need some little people to come right here and learn a short hip hop. Very easy. Nice and easy. If the kids don't come, I'm getting the parents. Yeah, right there, right there, right there. Oh, look at that. You gotta show them.
Sorry guys, I forgot I have one more speaker before origination comes up. Kids, just sit right there. Sit right there. Sit right there. Have a seat right there. Right there. There's an amazing young man who I don't want to forget. His name is Stavion. Stavion. And he's going to come up and give us some words. Thank you.
Hi. Wait. Hi. You guys hear me? Alright. Another round of applause for James. James, that was beautiful. This is a little speech that I wrote. Can you guys still hear me? You good? Okay. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Stavian, a member of the Walpole community and a former graduate of Walpole High. We are here today in celebration of Juneteenth, which celebrates the official abolishment of slavery. The Emancipation Proclamation was signed in 1863 by President Lincoln, which nullified slavery, but slaveholders in the South withheld this information from their slaves for roughly 2 years, so it wasn't until 1865 that they were officially free. Juneteenth embodies Black power. Black power is giving power to people who have not had the power to determine their destiny, once said by Huey P. Newton. This year's Juneteenth is extra special since it just became a federal holiday. Clap it up, clap it up. That means that this receives the same federal recognition as Independence Day and other American holidays. July 4th, 1776 celebrates the freedom of white Americans, since Black people were still enslaved. June 19th, 1865 celebrates the freedom of all Americans, in a sense, since it's the day that slavery was officially abolished. This past year has been quite frenetic, as it may seem like there have been a lot of social issues emerging. But these issues have been around for years. It seems like a burst of information due to social media making it more accessible to everyone, but this allows us to expand our knowledge and be aware of what could be affecting others. Change won't happen overnight. There has been a lot of progress throughout the years, but there is still a long way to go. If we as people change our behavior, acknowledge our history, and take accountability, we will continue to move forward in the right direction. Let's move forward and replace hate with love. What's that song by the Beatles? All you need is what? Love. There you go. It may seem at this time that hate is overbearing, but love and perseverance will heal us all. Thank you.
You guys see why we couldn't miss that, right? That was amazing. And this is Walpole homegrown amazing. All right, so now I'm going to turn the mic back over to my friend.
All right, stand up, stand up, stand up, stand up. Are you ready? All right, bring your hands up. Shake it down. Bring them up. We are going to have to shake it down. 2 more. Bring it up. I didn't know I had a backup. Bring it up. And shake it down. Stretch your arms over. 1, 2, count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Other side. Louder. 5, 6, 7, 8. Other side. 1, 2,
Ese es de lo que está intentando participar ahí.
Let's try it from the roll pool. Ready? You might not remember some of the choreography, that's why they got brains. From the choo-choo train. 5, 6, here we go. Roll, pull, 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 open, cross. Here we go, from the top. 5, 6, ready, and 1. 5, 6, 7, 8, 1. Looking good. Hands up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Take it back. 1, 2, 4. Now choo-choo train. 1, 4, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3. Track 2.
Hi everybody, I just want to make a quick announcement about ice cream. We do have some ice cream still available. We have donations in the phone, please. We're very lucky to have a sponsor donate over to us, so we want to make sure that it's gone. I'm going to take it from the freezer. Please make your way over. Thank you.
I didn't know that was for you. I thought that was for her.
He's trying to get one for me, Mom's man. I'm like, dude, I'm gonna get it myself. He's like, I'm trying to get one. You just trying to get two myself. Come on. You ain't slick. I told him.
Okay. So we would like, hello, to remind you, ice cream. Thank you to Turning Point for donating the ice cream. Would like to introduce you to Broderick's Gymnastics, so give them a hand.
Yo pensaba que tú eres morena.
¿Que yo? Sí. O blanca, te digo. A mí me...
Ella vive al lado de la casa.
Ajá.
Sí, yo vivo al lado.
Ella conoce a mami.
¿Tú eres la prima de ella?
No, ella es novia de mi hermano. Yeah.
De hermano que no he conocido, ¿verdad?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, Broderick. Give him a hand. So, I don't know how many of you were able to watch Chronicle this past week on Wednesday. Raise your hands if you were able to watch Chronicle. Thank you. So Shantae was actually featured, and she was able to talk a little bit about this particular celebration here today and the historic meaning behind Juneteenth. Again, if you haven't had a chance to learn a little bit more about it, make sure that you cross the street and you check out the different celebrations that have happened throughout the previous century, as well as some of the folks on the Black Excellence list for each of the towns. So we would like to give a shout out to Chronicle and their team for coming out here and interviewing Shantae, as well as the Dedham Media and the Walpole Media, who are here covering the event. I believe we have also someone from the Dedham Times who's here, so we appreciate you all for taking the time and coming out here. Who's ready for more ordination? These are my kids, by the way. This is Jaden and this is Jordan. All right, thanks. All right, we are here for our last set. Again, we want to thank you all for having us. And you can make noise. We like noise, so get into the music, just don't come on stage. But we like noise, so right now I'm going to introduce Imani Jr. and Alea Boys Troupe, followed by one more poem, and then our final piece of Girls of Imani. So right now we can hit up track 3. Thank you.
Well, for the first time I hear this, I beat ya. When I tell myself it real mad, it have thing for your waistline, thing for your spine, for your wine up and gallant. It feel bubbly, cold, clear, color. Better than the bass, I'm in a trilogy. So many times this I drop from the start to the top, from the bottom to top, bass energy. When every part for your wave, back for your wave, from left to right like a tidal wave. Down for your wave, shirt for your wave, wake up the dead from out of the grave, take one. Set up the start, take two. Set up the start, take one. Lights, camera.
Hi, my name's Jada, and I will be reciting a poem called I Win. Time after time, I won DC. After 5 long years, you flipped on me. Is it the clothes that I wear or the shoes on my feet? Is it the fact that I'm smart? Why you bully only me? You throw rocks at my mom, you gawk at my hair. You knock down my books, and you laugh at what I wear. I try to be nice because I want you as my friend, but the price that I'm paying isn't worth it in the end. You have to like me for me. Who I am, what I wear. The color of my skin and the thickness of my hair. But if not, who cares? You lose in the end. You'll be alone tomorrow and I'll have all the friends.
We're ready for track 4, please. Thank you. A little volume would be nice.
Come on, girl, my morning.
Rich, I ain't got no chain. On the list, I ain't got no name. But we in it, I'm not too lame. And I keep it Franklin, I'm not gonna change. Messy, I do want you and your bestie. I'm not gonna answer, but whenever you text me, it's multiple choices, you don't wanna test me. Choosing the squad. She tryna choose between me, just a quay and a sword. She told me that she learned that I'm a musical god. I told her I would let her see that blood. You got the power.
Wait a minute. Tell them to bring me my money.
more time. Also, we are Origination Cultural Arts Center in Boston, Massachusetts. Follow us at Origination Arts on our social media. Again, want to thank Shantae, Walpole, Dedham, the Walpole Letco program, and superstar classmates. You all did an amazing job. Happy Juneteenth.
Hello, hello, hello. Don't leave, everybody. We have more fun in store. So next, I want to say thank you to the Metro headquarters and to the Walpole Metro director, Virginia Castro, and lovely assistant wants to say a few words. So next, I want to invite up a very talented local African dance instructor. She is a gem in the community of Foxborough, and I want to just give her some acknowledgments and shout out so that we know what exists in our town, so we know, some of the things that we can offer our children that we may not know that are there. So I'm excited to sign Soraya up for the dance class with Sheffy. So without further ado, here's Sheffy, African dance.
So much, Shantae. My name is Effie. Thank you, Mansfield. I want everyone to get on their feet. This is our dance workshop. If you can stand up, please. Yeah, I don't need a mic. I naturally have a loud voice, so a mic anyway for the people back there. And if you can take your shoes, you can take them off. That's very good. So I am originally from Togo, and that's one of the countries in West Africa. I have 3 kids. You've seen them already. They're used to the stage, so they were just coming here. The song we're going to be performing on is from Nigeria, and the title is Mama Africa by Brackets. Okay, there are a few steps from Nigeria and one step from Ghana. I will be, when I'm doing the dance, I'll tell you which step is which, okay? Woo-hoo! It's Mickey D.
This one, the Sara Sara. The beat is Tana Tana. It go make you manya manya.
And
Turn it up, please, DJ.
If you did some easy, make you no fight. You go forget your sorrow. Makachuku, you go buy and play for your moto. This one na Sara Sara. The beat is tarantana. You go make you manya manya. Ines is manya manya. This is for people with kalaka. People with kalaka. Nandi walanya. Nandi walanya. It go make you feel better. This can take away palapa. This can take away palapa.
So when you're doing this,
James, yeah, James. Solomon, come on, Solomon, come on, Solomon.
Anything that doesn't have peanuts. Come with me then. I don't anything that doesn't have
The last one is stop on the green. I think I just got to the corner side of the place. Let's go! 5, 6, 7, 8.
Pues porque ella está muy confundida, que la agua de mamá
This is for people with chalacha, people with kalaka, and they walanya, and they kalanya. It will make you feel better. This can take away palapa, this can take away pala. It will make you feel Niger. Oh yeah, let's go to Kenya, Rwanda, and Tanzania. Go Cameroon, Niger, Ghana, Southern Sudan. Oh yeah, make you ricotta, mama Africa, ricotta, hey, make you dance, yeah. you manya manya. Ines is in manya manya. Oh yeah, make you ricotta, mama Africa, ricotta, make you dance, yeah, everybody ricotta, mama Africa, ricotta, make you dance, yeah. This one, na sara sara, the beat is tarantana, it gon' make you manya manya. Ines is in manya manya. This is for people with chalaka, people with kalaka, and the walanya, and the kalanya. It gon' make you feel better. This can take away palapa, this can take away pala. It gon' make you feel Niger. Oh yeah, let's go to Kenya, Rwanda, Tanzania, Togo, Cameroon, Niger, Ghana, Southern Sudan. Oh yeah, make you ricotta, mama Africa, ricotta, make you dance, yeah. Everybody ricotta, mama Africa, ricotta, make you dance, yeah. Sara sara le, oh sara sara le, make you dance, yeah. Oh sara sara le, mama Africa, sara sara le, make you dance, yeah. This one not yo. If you dance like this, it make you no fight, oh. Hey, you go forget your sorrow. You go buy a play for your motto. Hey, this one na sara sara. The beat is tarantana. You go make you manya manya. Ines is in manya manya. This is for people with chalacha. People with chalaka. And the walanya. And the kalanya. You go make you feel better. This can take away palapa. This can take away pala. You go make you feel Niger. Oh yeah, let's go to Zambia, Uganda, South Africa, Togo, Cameroon, Burundi, also Benin Republic. Oh yeah, make you ricotta, mama Africa, ricotta, make you dance, yeah. Everybody ricotta, mama Africa, ricotta, make you dance, yeah. Sara sara le, oh sara sara le, make you dance, yeah. Oh sara sara le, mama Africa, sara sara le, make you dance, yeah. Sara sara le, mama sara sara le, make you dance, yeah. Sara sara le, ndi bonine sara sara le, make you dance, yeah.
One more time and then freestyle. All right.
This one na sara sara. The beat is tarantana. You go make you manya manya. Ines is in manya manya. Oh yeah, make you ricotta, mama Africa, ricotta, make you dance, yeah. Everybody ricotta, mama Africa, ricotta, make you dance, yeah. This one na sara sara. The beat is tarantana. You go make you manya manya. Ines is in manya manya. This is for people with chalacha, people with kalaka, and the walanya, and the kalanya. It will make you feel better. This can take away palapa. This can take away pala. It will make you feel Niger. Oh yeah, let's go to Kenya, Rwanda, and Tanzania, Togo, Cameroon, Niger, Ghana, Southern Sudan. Oh yeah, make you ricotta, mama Africa, ricotta, make you dance, yeah. Everybody ricotta, mama Africa, ricotta, make you dance, yeah. Sara sara le, oh sara sara le, make you dance, yeah. Oh sara sara le, mama Africa, sara sara le, make you dance, yeah.
Woo!
All right, thank you so much, everybody. Thank you. Did you guys enjoy that? Can I huge round of applause for Sheffy, because that was really interactive. I wasn't expecting all of that.
Kylie baila más que canción. Sí, Kylie lo brincar.
I just have a quick thank you, another thank you, because I have a lot of people to thank. And I want to call them up quickly to say thank you for everything that they've done over the last year with the multicultural book. It's all right. Families represent. You know what it is. So first, can Laura Braxis, Kristen Kohlmeyer, Liana, come on up. What you guys probably don't know that over the last year we've been building the MBA. Just the four of us. It was the four of us who came together and said to do something for multicultural books in Walpole. And we came together and we decided that we were going to come and put this together, this initiative that has now turned into a nonprofit organization, which we, and I know everybody here is really so proud. So I just want to, token of my appreciation for you to grow and watch grow like we will grow. I'm not doing these things, but so I got one for each. That was all I wanted to say, so thank you. Round of applause to my friends for helping get the initiative started. Thank you. All right, up we have our final event. All right, our final speaker for today is going to end the event. And I really hope you're excited. We want to make sure we give him all the room on the stage because this is a theatrical, amazing performance. So without further ado, I want to announce Mr. Ron Jones.
Hang on. It's multimedia, so I got it.
Oh, that's my fault.
I know. Am I plugged in? Is the mic jack in? I can't hear you.
Hey, no.
Vamos para la casa.
Yeah.
Nadie me la carga porque tú
It's not good.
ya, tú no eres una bebé.
It's fine.
Okay, I need a take. I need a volunteer. I need somebody to press a button.
I'll do it, Ron.
Okay, just press the space bar. Yeah, there should be audio. You sure you got me jacked in?
You can literally come here anytime you want.
If you see the little speaker, that means it should be playing if you press the space bar. Give me a minute.
At the Union stronghold known as Camp Saxon.
Meeting here tonight. Come along. There's
Okay, go back to the beginning. Oh, what's that? All right, press the space. Go the wrong way.
At the executive government.
Wrong way. Back space. Back space. Back space all the way to the beginning. And then start and then press the space.
Upon hearing that freedom had only recently reached Galveston, Texas, a freed slave recalls his Freedom's Eve. The date is December 31st, 1862. The time, 11:50 p.m. At the Union stronghold known as Camp Saxon, James Island, Beaufort County, South Carolina.
My Lord, call me. He coming by the thunder, the trumpet sound within my soul. I got long to still.
Lord knows, I knows how those people in Galveston must be feeling right now today. Juneteenth. I remember when it happened for me on Freedom's Eve. Felt like only a moment ago. All of us are waiting for the clock to tick 12. Nobody sleep. Nobody sleep. We knew that this wasn't just going to be a new year. It was going to be a free year. Everybody waiting, just anticipating, waiting to cut loose. I tell you what, when that clock strikes 12, we be free. Legal free. President Lincoln done said so. Even done sent this man, Mr. Brisbane down here to read it on the paper. Folks been coming from as far away as they could get to get here. Me, I traveled most of the day to get here. Now I've been meeting people from islands that I ain't never even heard of before. You gotta understand that for some of us, you had to see it. You had to hear it. Otherwise, you don't know whether it's true or not. For some of them folks, they were saying that if you don't see it and hear it, they ain't gonna let you be free. And I don't believe that's silly. But for me, I had to be a part of it. I had to experience it. Otherwise, how am I supposed to know whether or not it's just one of them old pipe dreams that everybody been going on about since this war done started? Or still, what if this is one of those ugly lies that some white folks been telling us and themselves just to keep us in our place? But when I got here, when I saw it for myself, I knew this was a whole different kind of thing. I saw them soldiers from the 54th Regiment up down from Massachusetts. And they were here with the first South Carolina Volunteers. I tell you what, when I saw those Negroes dressed in them fine uniforms, I know it was you. But what I was told, people been here all day, fellowshipping, praising, singing. They done built a podium over there, and they have been giving people speeches. People been talking all day. They've been barbecuing, and they've been doing all sorts of different stuff. And I never in my life seen so many folks that look like me, dressed so fine, happy. And as folks was coming down the road, you could hear them singing gospels and spirituals. And by the time they got down to where we was all singing along with them. Press the button.
Meeting here tonight. Come along, there's a meeting here tonight. Whoa, I know you by your daily walk. There's a meeting here tonight. Get you ready, there's a meeting here tonight. Come along, there's a meeting here tonight. Whoa, I know you your daily walk. There's a meeting here tonight. Get you ready, there's a meeting here.
And then as we knew it was getting close, because Mr. Brisbane, he got up from his seat on the podium and he started to walk to the microphone. And right at that moment, when he got there, you start to hear the church bell ring. Press the button. Button. What? You could hear a pin drop. You could hear every soul. And then Mr. Brisbane, he took a moment, he cleared his throat, and he started to speak.
By the President of the United States of America, that on the first day of January AD 1863, all persons held as slaves within any state or designated part of a state, the people whereof shall then be in rebellion against the United States, shall be then, thenceforward, and forever free.
Hallelujah! Oh Lord, the crowd, they blowed up, and the people were playing instruments, and they were praising the Lord's name, and they were crying and singing. And Mr. Brisbane, he took a break because he knew there was too much talk over, and so he figured he'd give it a moment, but they wasn't stopping. So he figured he'd have to keep going, and as he was trying to speak, I tried to listen to him as hard as I could.
And the executive government of the United States, including the military and naval authority thereof, will recognize and maintain the freedom of such persons, and will...
You're killing me.
And the executive government of the United States, including the military and naval authority thereof, will recognize and maintain the freedom of such persons, and will do no act or acts to repress such persons, or any of them, in any efforts they may make for their actual freedom.
That's the part that hit me the most. I took it to mean that the government was saying, is they going to make sure we get to use our freedom. Now, I figured it didn't mean much for the first time I thought about it, because they's already fighting, so what more can they do? And then I thought about it. That means they're going to do whatever they can beyond the war to make sure we get to exercise the freedom that they done give us. And I thought for a minute, well, that's all well and good, but what you gonna do about all them folks who believe in their hearts and in their minds that we still don't deserve it? And Lord knows what you gonna do when some of them start to act on that. I see how bad that can be. I live We don't need to worry about that. I wasn't worried about it at the moment, because tonight we gonna celebrate. Tonight, all of us is free. And I remember thinking that as I was having those thoughts, the first thing I can do, but I can probably tomorrow morning join those first South Carolina volunteers. Give me one of them nice uniforms. Do what I can. And as I was having that thought, an old man up on the podium started speaking. And then he started singing. And before you knew it, people were singing along with him. I'd never heard that song before. And it was like they were singing it right to me. It was something, I tell you what. Well, thinking back on that really brings a lot back home. But more than anything else, I'm just glad we all made it through that wait now. I know those folks in Galveston are glad too. Thank you. That story is actually based on a real life events that happened in the Gulf community in South Carolina.
You gotta look at the
Even
stage.
closer? If I get any closer, I'll be behind you. I'll turn this way. Wow. Next time, I'll just move the stage closer to the tech. Just saying. So, I want to thank you all so much for being here. I can tell you what, there's just so many people who could not believe, if you had told them 2 or 3 years ago that there'd be this many white people at Juneteenth, they would have went, so you need to cut back on the dope. Because, wow. So, I want to talk about that moment. That moment was basically December 31st. Move back to the front of the stage and talk. Yeah, it's still working. Still working. Don't go that way. Okay. All right. So December 31st, 1862 was known as Freedom's Eve. Even though Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation in the spring of the fall of 62, it didn't take effect until the new year. And slaves everywhere knew it. So they had these events known as Freedom's Eve everywhere, wherever they could do it without harsh and ugly consequences. So I didn't have a lot of time to learn this, so I'm just going to barrel through it with you. So, can you imagine what it was like for those collective masses in those last waiting hours? I imagine it was a combination of feelings like a child's Christmas morning combined with Mardi Gras and God knows what else. All on steroids. So, it was a collective birthday celebration for over 3.5 million people who lived in bondage. But that moment was also sprinkled with healthy amounts of trepidation. Healthy amounts of trepidation. Remember, the war was still in full force back then. And those people who were there lived with the idea that they would just pack up because they were free now and just get on with their lives. No, that could have deadly consequences. And some of them had nowhere to go. And so the idea was that as the Union Army gained ground, they brought that wave of freedom with them. But till then, there were still millions and millions of people who were still caught in their waiting out. You know, for the people of Galveston, this was it was 2.5 years and 911 days later. 911 days waiting to get what you legally have earned, but at the same time, they refuse to give you. Once the wave of emancipation had rolled across the country, black people got on to doing what the vast majority of people with a certain measure of more dignity do. Even more? I'm just going to leave a trail of paper. They got on to doing what people who were afforded just a morsel more of their dignity did. They breathed freedom. They lived something closer to a normal life. They tried their best to elevate their dignity. They went about reuniting torn apart families. They aspired to literacy. As they built schools during Reconstruction, it was not uncommon to see parents sitting alongside their children learning to read and write. They built their own churches and prayed openly in places where they never could in the past. They worked for pay, though for many of them who had to rely on sharecropping, it was little more than slavery 2.0. You know, for those who had skills and trades, they were fortunate. They were able to work for something closer to their work. They began to build communities. They ran for public office. They advocated for themselves and their communities on state, local, and national levels. And in some instances, out of necessity or sometimes fellowship, they built cooperative relations with the white community. What they did not do was go on campaigns of revenge and retribution. Never. And if it happened, it was in the tiniest of instances. Long story short, they got on with living up to their American creed. Juneteenth was the official close of a shameful chapter in American history, but it was also the final landing point of a new chapter that was defined by not just overt oppression and violence, but every most ugly kind of subvert degradation you can imagine. All of it in the name of exercising some supremacy that was then and now antithetical to the American creed. More importantly, all that ugliness of spirit and deed was a direct assault on the American dream. The American dream has always relied on people living up to their most aspirational selves and their most aspirational ideas of the founding books. Not just the easiest ones. When we think about the critical words of our Declaration of Independence, we often focus on the first part and not the most critical ideas that follow it. Hit the button.
We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed, that whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it, and to institute new government, laying its foundation on such principle and organizing its power in such form as to them shall seem most likely to effect their safety and happiness. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights.
Thank you. I didn't realize it. So what most people focus on is the first part of that sentence, not the second. But understand, everything you just heard there is an entire sentence. It's an entire sentence. To be clear, that whole sentence and the way it was originally written. At some point, some clowns put a period in there by mistake because it sounded like a great stopping point, but it wasn't what they meant. It's two separate ideas that work in conjunction with one another.
Effectively, it says that it is the responsibility of the whole of our citizenry to assert and protect those people that cannot protect themselves. So basically, it is up to the majority to protect the minority. That's the long and the short of what that means. And so the idea of us, it means little if we don't do our best most and don't actively stand up for those people. I've always believed that the world can be broken into three groups. There's people who know and care. There's people who care but don't know. And then there's people who don't care to know. Now, the first group, the people who know and care, are I imagine many of you are among them. You are here. You are engaged. You are involved in causes. You are putting, quote unquote, skin in the game, so to speak. And that is great. But then there is a group of people who don't care to know. They don't give a crap. They're basically like, hey, I got problems too. But I believe the biggest of the three groups is the group that cares but does not know. They have no idea how much is lost, how much hurt and suffering it gets perpetrated because they don't actively live their compassion. They don't live up to their individual national creed. So I want you guys to take this Juneteenth to reevaluate yourselves and see where you fall on that spectrum. I believe it's like 15, and like 70 in the middle, maybe 20, 60. But that big group in the middle, that majority in the middle, needs to be activated. So the idea here is that I've always believed in the American dream and that the only way we can achieve it is by expanding who becomes that group who knows and cares. And we do it by educating, by compassion, by love, by infusing these interesting ideas with an overwhelming love force, with an overwhelming soul force that is going to, at the very least, make the ugliest angels of our nature look at themselves in shame. We may not change their hearts, we may not change their minds, but we will definitely be able to reduce the pain that they would inflict. These newly freed people from 100 plus some odd years ago, they didn't engage in reprisals. But that was not part of the narrative that lived within certain segments of the white population about them. They were degraded, or flat out denied the humanity of these newly freed people. A false narrative of menace and violence that plagued many communities was used to justify all manner of inhumane and unconscionable treatment. And again, it was not the majority. It was an ugly, activated minority. They did things like restricting the ability for people of color to own firearms, restricting their travel, the inception of things like the Klan, barring voting with poll taxing, and a host of other indignities that made it impossible for them to live up to their American creed. Long story short, they conspired to pervert the American dream. They tried to impose a type of white supremacist nationalism on so many people who were also white and going to suffer from it, not just the ones they hated. They actively worked against millions of people, and the only reason they were able to do it is because not enough decent people stood up, said no, filled the void of ignorance and hate with themselves, with their heart. The 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments of the Constitution were designed to fold in more people and protect those newly freed people and bring them even deeper into the American dream. To make them citizens of this country that they weren't that they didn't ask to be a part of, but they were born into. I have always believed that there are far more good people than bad. I've always also believed that there are far more apathetic people than active. I have always believed that we are all a journey towards more compassion, more love, that we are more selfless than selfish. I have always believed that we are better. The only way we can better realize this American dream is when we actively look for those moments to stand in and protect whatever group is compromised in body and spirit. They've always been among us, and sadly, the narrative of their pain has always had to compete with the ugliness and lies and falsehood that justify why they are not worthy. Or worse still, hold on to long-standing ignorances that compromise us all. The last 18 months have given us a stark look and view of some of the issues that still conspire to undermine the American dream. A war on science, necessary police reform, wage and financial equity, ferocious political animus, domestic terror, and white supremacy. And most recently, an assault on the concept of critical race theory, and worst of all, a straight-up assault on the seats of power. All this seems to be driven, at least in my humble opinion, by an unquenchable cynicism and ferocious ignorance. It is up to all of us who know and care to reach deeper inside those people who don't know but care. And hopefully, the ones who don't care to know will stumble into the fold. But we are the ones that can do it. It's nobody but us. So, what can you do? Do what you're already doing and take it up 5%. Have those awkward conversations, not just with the people who agree with you, but with the ones who don't, compassionately, patiently. Trust me, if nothing else, it will test your fortitude. It will make you more understanding of things that are hard to understand. People believe bad ideas because they are not given an opportunity to be exposed to better ones. As a loving community, as my American family, we are the better. Every single one of us. I want you all to know one thing flat out. I love each and every one of you. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. You. I don't know. I got issues with you. I love you guys, and not in that creepy sort of stalker at the window or won't stop texting sort of way. I'm talking about I love you because you are the multitude of expressions of an American dream. You can show me things that I cannot see on my own. You make me better by showing me what I can't see. Why would I not love someone who's capable of that? You are my American family, and some members of our American family are hurting. I believe that the only reason that so many of these issues that we wrestle with get as bad as they do is because far too many of us are willing to retreat into comfort and privilege, while Black lives, LGBTQIA lives, poor lives, women's lives, emotionally tormented lives, American lives suffer and die. And the only thing that can stop the hurt is us. I need all of you to know that we can get through this, but we gotta lean into it. All right, getting emotional. I will leave you with these words right now. Well, actually, I'll jump back. Just like I was saying, my love for you is not without conditions, but I don't set the terms. If you are a parent or a married person, you know that love comes with a cost. Your children. Yeah, your spouse. There's a cost. There's always a cost to pay, and if we don't pay it, we fail. Marriages fail. Relationships fail. Countries fail. Happens all the time. So I'll leave you with the words of someone far more eloquent than me, James Baldwin. Here's what he wrote to his own nephew. And for those of you who don't know this essay, it's called A Letter to My Nephew. And it is, in my humble opinion, one of the most beautiful pieces of writing to the American spirit that has ever been put to paper. So I'll leave you with these words. Indeed, one must strive to become tough and philosophical concerning destruction and death. For it is what most mankind has been best at since we have heard the word. Remember, I said most mankind. But it is not permissible for the authors of devastation that they should also be innocent. For it is the innocence which constitutes the crime. And Baldwin didn't say this, but I will. And for every crime of conscience unaddressed, there will be a punishment of spirit. And somebody's going to pay it. God bless you all.
Thank you. We had a little technical difficulty. Was it me? Because I got to be collectively. We are a people.
Oh, there you go. We are a people.
Hi, I'm Tracy Franklin from the Anti-Racism Coalition of Dedham. I thank all of you for being here. And oh my goodness, was this a great time? How about a round of applause for some tables? Without none of this would have happened. All things considered, food service, hey? Applause for my guys. Nice hot dogs. I'm glad you like them. I also want to thank all of you for coming to share our Independence Day. This event has meant so much to people of color since 1865, but now we get to share it with all of you. It's a party. Welcome to the party. And as of this year,
Viking.
It's an official federal holiday. What can be better than this? A federal holiday. Juneteenth is a federal holiday. Tell your boss now, schedule it off for next year. Just call them now. It's a holiday. So on behalf of the planning committee, we'd like to thank you all for coming. Drive safely. And I'd like to see you all give a round of applause for DJ Clash's play. He kept us moving all day. It wasn't that. I'd like to see all of you dance out a little happier than you came today. Shake those booties as you're on your way to your car. We had a good time, we did it for the right reason, and we are a people. Thank you all.